So I'm just going to post this class to on here. Not that I've never had anybody come on my class, actually. So we'll post it also to Facebook. Devotees, ways to get online. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadaha, Shivas. I don't know why this is doing this every time. Do I need to use this one? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'm going to do it on Facebook as well. Invite devotees this way as well. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, there I am, Gadaha, Shivas, Adigora Bhaktavinda. I'm just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'll just invite the devotees like this. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Good morning to you, Daphne. Good morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Are you still at the temple there in Ireland, Daphne? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Oh, Govinda has gone to sleep now. He wants to be awake for when Maharaj comes on. I don't blame him. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. That's enough. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Tarun. Hey, Hare Krishna to you, Tarun. Tarun Krishna Das. Okay, I think that's enough. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. No, I'm not going to the temple. No more. Can't bear the limitations. I don't blame you. I'm glad you've learnt that. Maybe, Daphne, maybe you could share that with actually, I don't think Mary's going to the temple anymore, but maybe you can share that with Mary. You share that with Mary. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama Hare Rama. Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. I think Mary was been struggling, Daphne. Hey Shamagori, how are you doing there in Germany? I know actually it's been quite bad in Germany actually. I have to speak to you about that actually. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Yeah, of going to the temple and how it it actually brings upon the devotee all of these limitations as well, because of them always trying to get us to fit in a box, to be able to fit in a place at the temple, and just kind of suppressing and suppressing and suppressing us. Mary still seems to enjoy the chanting, which I did for a while too, but not no more. Yeah, she does enjoy the chanting. Yeah, so she should just go to the chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. She said something very interesting the other day, Daphne, about sometimes when we tell the mind what to do, it gets angry. Not in these words. It gets angry, so it suppresses itself by getting angry. That material anger and put up a block in the first place. So one is on this treadmill of being given help, not taking it in the speculative mind and not taking it to the heart, because we're here to trust. Trust in the Lord, gradually learning to build that trust and that faith, that life with the Lord, walking with the Lord, needs to come from the heart and talk. Because Mary, we're doing here, we're doing the best for each other as much as we can. There's nothing that we would do to hurt or disturb anyone else, but to help them out of their cycle of disturbances, constant disturbances, because the mind does do that. If the mind has a lot of power, you've given it a lot of power, because you're racking your mind with your speculative ideas, etc. Why is my screen, it's not very clear to talk to Karuna about that. You look so bright, dear River. Went to bed early, Shamagori. So what the mind does, the speculations in the mind, they want to fight. So if you tell them something that they really want to, embrace with the heart, really, the mind will just come back with all of this kind of nasty kind of, I'm going to get you back for hurting my mind, for hurting. Can you see how my face goes when I say these things? Hurting my mind. And it's like a rigmarole. And that cycle definitely needs to be broken. It definitely needs to be broken, because we're just cutting off our nose to despite our face. I know Mary is enjoying, and thank you for reminding me that she does enjoy that. So she must do that. Do it out and about in the air, where she can meet all other devotees, other people come in and share, because she has Maharaj, share the message for people's safety and shelter, people to be able to truly rest, to be able to be open to hear this message, which is the best thing for all of us, our relationship with the Lord. Hare Krishna. Daphne saying, I mean, even with the chanting, they prescribe a certain way of dancing for the ladies. It's ridiculous. Yes, I like that word, Daphne. When I danced my way, everyone was looking at me like I'm disturbing the routine. Two things here. That's why exactly why Daphne asking Mary, to go out, meeting, where there's not that as many rules and regulations there, and she can be more herself. And the other thing is for you, Daphne, and I'm not saying anything, this is not something you have to do, no pressure, and because you are listening and you're listening regularly now, and you can see your changes, and you can see the limitations you're being shown or the manipulation, you can just go and dance And let them look at you, Daphne, and no pressure, remember. Let them look at you. And I should say things like this to me, because you have the Lord. So you can dance the way you want. The Lord is residing within you. They can watch that. So they're looking at you. They're looking at the Lord in you. But no pressure. No pressure to anything. It's just ideas that come straight away. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Because, these, I don't know, these people who are stuck in this way of worshipping, this routine way of worshipping, full of all of these regulations. You must worship this way, but our hearts are, we are individual, and our hearts are where they are in our individual relationship with Krishna. I forgot why I said that. Oh yes, so they need to, whilst the devotees can go online and they can see, I'll talk about myself, all of us, Lolita, see what we were like at the beginning, see what we are like in and just to remind others what we were like in 2020, maybe 21, and what we are like here now nearly in 2023, and how. And all we've been doing is listening to Srila Gaura Haridas, maybe inquiring, asking questions, talking and communing with the devotees as much as we can, as much as we want to be able to get past our disturbances, which we need a family member to be able to come commune with, talk, share with. We need that. So whichever family member it is can put a light upon our disturbances that maybe we're not able to see at the moment. If we've had disturbances from such a young age, and some people have had them from babies, from toddlers, from a very young age, of whatever kind of abuse it is, be it physical or be it mental abuse, just that kind of abuse, maybe. And it's hard for parents as well. You find it difficult to think that kind of abuse and what triggers that abuse up. There's a devotee in the Sangha, something, and a certain energy will trigger that devotee, and it puts that devotee back in that place, of being traumatized from a very young age. We can't remember it's because of that trauma. It's been there for so long. We've been acting the way we've been doing for so long. We just think it's a part of us, and it's very difficult for a devotee that, trust is lacking still, and in them and you. Because when a trigger comes up, especially from ecstatic devotees, and these triggers come up, there is something deep coming out for you, for me, if it's me, to embrace this. Because I saw it. I'll give you an example of exactly what I mean. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When I first got together with Karuna and everybody had left the home, and Maharaj had gone back to India, etc. So it was just me and Karuna. He was watching me, and he could see that I was using, because I've been unwell from the age of 14. I can't remember actually. Yeah. Anyway, I'm better now than ever. He says to me, "You're using your sickness to play the victim. You're using your sickness to play the victim." And I'm on the machine, and he's telling me this, and it's like, whoa, shock. But I knew it was true. I knew something. I had to break out of something, break out, and I knew it was true. And from that day, and it still happens. But I soon come back to you, Mooney, you're playing the victim. Because when we play the victim, it's somebody else's fault. Because when we play the victim, when somebody abuses us from a young age, and this may sound cold, and I'm really apologizing, it's not, because I've been through similar kind of abuse myself. And Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. We cannot hear the message because we just focus on that abuse, focus on that trouble that we cannot remember it was caused by that abuse. We just focus on that, and we just want to run away from that energy, and it's understandable. It's disturbing. We just want to hide from that energy. But I found that what Karuna did for me that day, whilst I was, it's true. We play the victim when we have to face our karma, deeply face our karma. We play a victim, and we blame others, and all it does is it just puts us in that cycle of blaming others, never finding out what's going off with others. It's their fault. It's got nothing to do with me. I am completely innocent. Well, if you're innocent, what are you doing here in the first place in this material energy? And any kind of abuse that we got, people think, it's from our karma. And I'm not saying it's especially when it's innocent children, because when we receive our karma from a young age, it makes it difficult to trust and build faith in each other, because that trigger that we don't understand is still there. And when that trigger is triggered, that deep one, we're going to take distance and we're going to push people away, because this huge trigger has come up. It's a huge energy. It's disturbing. And in that place, we need to hear this Maha Mantra. We need to speak with the devotees. We need to speak it out, so we can individually upon each other shine this light upon those difficulties and those disturbances we have, that are our karma, that are our obstacles. And it's okay. They're all okay, because we are on this journey. It doesn't matter what they are, and if we can take and embrace, what someone is sharing with you that is causing us to be on this rigmarole, this constant cycle, and once and for all can break that. For me, it was a really, and I know I have a lot more. It was really Daphne saying, by standing by the Lord, I am shredding my own victimhood. Brilliant. We are reclaiming our own selves. Absolutely. And this is what is happening here. Some of us don't have these deep triggers, and cannot even see that it's a trigger. But it doesn't matter. We are here, like Daphne says, we are here under the shelter. So these triggers, they will gently be let go of under the shelter of the Lord, in that pure love sheltering upon us every day. We will be able to get remove them. And you know what, Daphne, sometimes I wonder, not for very long, the triggers that we're all playing out and we're all letting go of, that are coming up at different times for different devotees. It just seems like that all of us have our own show to be able to see, our karma, our playing, our attachments to the illusion. We seem to be playing out a show individually, and each of our attachments and illusions and triggers are going to happen at a certain time to play out this show, our individual book, our individual show, that now we are playing, walking with God upon his shelter, under his shelter, on the shelter of being in spirit, living in truth and in spirit. Tarun is saying to me, right, take back your power. See deeply my part in all what I believe are ignorant materialists. They don't matter no more, because I gonna be free and high on Lord Caitanya, Srila Gora Haridasa's grace, mercy place. Absolutely. And absolutely, Tarun, and the difficulties that we hold are just holding certain blocks. We just hold certain obstacles within us. They just become a block. They're still there, and what we do on our path to the Lord, we just keep stumbling over them. We keep stumbling over it, and because of that, it takes our attention. And here we can gently let these things go. I'm one for analyzing and getting through my triggers as fast as possible. That's my what's the word? I think maybe obstacle. In my time, I am ready. In the place, I am ready to receive and let go. So this all started with, are we that innocent? After being here, life after life after life, how innocent are we? And when we say, I'm just completely innocent, I have done nothing wrong, that's just a blue light for me going like that. We have parts to play. We have our karma to embrace. And if we embrace it, and use it for the Lord, it doesn't feel like karma. It doesn't feel like that karma that causes a lot of disturbances. It just feels like a disturbance happening under the guidance of, like you said, Lord Caitanya, Srila Gora Haridas, representing Lord Caitanya. And it feels like What did I say? I forgot. Yeah, we are taking back our power. In fact, we are taking back ourselves. We are receiving this power. We are receiving this empowerment to be able to take back ourselves from this illusion, from all entanglements from this illusion. And it is working, and we do it slowly in our own time. We grow together with the Lord, so it becomes natural, just natural and normal. And this is who I am. And we naturally share the Lord as well. Daphne saying, I feel the Lord is so forgiving once we give ourselves to him. That's it. Perfect, Daphne. Once we give our whole selves to him, and it happens differently and gradually for all of us, we give our whole self to him. The more we do, the more shelter we receive, the deeper understanding we receive of the potency of the Lord, the knowledge of the Lord. And the more we receive, the more we give ourselves to him. And we just do it gradually, and it's different for others. And the more we stay, the more we see, the more we hear, the more we see without hearing, the more our eyes are opened and open, the more the veil is lifted off, and it stays off. It doesn't just come back down, it stays off. The more of that, the more we give our lives to the Lord, we see, he sees that we trust him. He sees that our faith is growing in him. He can see that our Bhakti Lada Bij is growing. He can see we are being born under the guidance of Srila Gaura Haridas to be able to live in spirit now, because we have a great teacher who has mastered spirit. And we can do that. And I was thinking about this walking yesterday. If we admit things, we know there's things going off in us. If we admit them, we lay them down. We don't have to share them always. We lay them down at the feet of Lord Caitanya. This is what's happening to me. This is if we speak it out aloud to him, that's it. We're laying it down at his feet, and he will deal with it. In fact, I'm going to do that. He will deal with it, and he always does. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And all our disturbances change. Whatever we have or we don't have, it all changes. We come into that position of natural growth and this natural relationship growing with Krishna and the family. Like Maharaj said yesterday, forgive, like you say, Daphne, forgiveness is easier. We're receiving the potency of the Lord. We're receiving that pure love emanating through us now. That is the forgiveness, that energy, that potency, that all binding love, pure love from the Lord. It is our forgiveness. It is our sharing. It is our real caring. It is our real life. That pure love, that potency, what we receive, that cares and look after us. I can't get my words out. Look after us. Sorry. Cares for us. Allows us to grow in comfort under the shelter of the Lord. It just happens for us naturally. So you will experience relationship with the Lord in your own time, and real love, and how the Lord is loving you with your own walk with him. Same for me and all of us with our individual walk with him, our own individual relationship. How much can we leave at the Lord's feet? And he will just take it away no matter what. And this just gets faster and faster. And we begin to be able to, for me, I'm thinking, am I really grown? Am I really in this Sangha? Am I really in this family? Absolutely. We have this family. This family is here, the ultimate family, the ultimate relationship, the ultimate experiences, our real true life with our ultimate goal here, guided. It's guided. Our life experiences now, are guided, instructed. We can inquire and ask questions. Our experiences are so rich, so fruitful, so life-giving, so inspiring. Each of our, and I was thinking yesterday, Lord Caitanya, my life is like my material life. It's just like, I don't do that much, don't go to many places, but my inner life, my inner talking, my inner relationship with the Lord, the inner world within, is faster than ever before. Faster than ever before. And if we take it slowly, and I want to do this more, is to talk and commune with the devotees more. And I'm going to say that sometimes I can be quite intense and say things, and I can cause triggers without realizing. And so please forgive me. But those triggers really help me and you guys as well. It's just when they get too much, and they get too much with me and with Karuna at times, because there's triggers and triggers and triggers. I've had with Maharaj, Lord Caitanya, Maharaj, devotees, Karuna, just trigger, constantly. You want to take distance, you want to just back off, a bit, to be able come off it, to process all of those triggers, to process what is going off. So I know it's the best for me, but it can get too much for me, and I need my own time. I don't need Karuna or in my face all the time, trigger and trigger, when I'm not even processing any trigger and not letting go. Just simply dealing with the triggers, and putting my hand up, playing the victim, being sick as well. Brilliant. Daphne saying brilliant. Taruni saying Johan was saying something like they can't disturb the real heart thing. They can't. But if we've given the power, Tarun, if we've given power to the illusion, which is flowing around the heart and all over, we've given power to the illusion will be disturbed in this shelter. That illusion will be disturbed. So we can realize, that illusion is not something that we want to spend so much time with as a servant of the Lord, to bring through the Lord himself, so he too can carry on drowning out all of their disturbances, all the darkness, all the niches that these devoted people are floating in, can drown that out as well. We can go back out there. No, he can't disturb them, because when we go out now, most of the time, there's a huge shelter above us to be able to have that space to share the Lord. So the real heart cannot be disturbed. It's what if we are focusing fully on the heart now and more empowered in that relationship now, it can't disturb. And if it disturbs, it's for a few seconds, a few minutes, half a day, very little, so much faster, because we're letting go of all the energy surrounding the heart, the chains we've built, the poison ivy around the heart just strangles the heart, and there's no space to express and for the Lord to grow, for the Bhakti Ladder Beach to keep growing. We're just focusing on the illusion. And here we're in the counseling we have here of the Lord himself, who knows exactly what we need and what we don't, constantly giving our whole self, like Daphne said, our whole lives gradually to the Lord. Our relationship gets faster. He can see that we trust him no matter what happens in our lives. And I know with all of us, different disturbances, we have different disturbances. We are transcended out of them by hearing the word of God and staying in this association, in spiritual association, and be lifted and empowered constantly out of this illusion that soon as we don't have that shelter, whoosh, it's on straight away. We know where to stay. As we grow, we know what is conducive for us. We know where our growth lies, where we will grow here in the Sangha. And it's worked for all of us, and you guys know exactly what I'm speaking about. But so the Lord is situated in the heart, actually rooted, not so situated, but rooted in the heart, just rooted there and growing. And we're growing upon that. It can't hurt us. And as we move into, because it happened for Johan quite quickly there too, where he was awake and he was laughing and in ecstasy quite quickly. And we will go through these as well. And no, nothing will hurt the heart. All the blaspheming, the tomato throwing, what people say, it won't even hit your heart. It's just what people do. It's just what they're saying. Like little children are running around. I mean, I'm not a mother, but I've been around a lot of children. They run around and say all sorts of things and do all sorts of things, but they're children and they have a space held for them to be able to grow. That's in safety. I know that's in the temporary world still. Here we are being sheltered by the Lord, And we are able to grow away out of this illusion and to grow in spirit. We are able to do that. And it just quickens up. And I've had material counseling. I don't know if you have, but I've had material counseling. And whilst I might have been helped to a degree, I was helped to live this counseling's narrative on what life is and how I was finding it difficult to live in life because of my previous narratives. And this is the narrative that you need to live. So you need to learn how to do all of these things. She didn't know God. She knows of him. And things came back. The only narrative, the only conditioning, the only programming that we want that is the best for us and others as well, is the one true narrative of absolute truth. It's just the one true narrative. Can you believe this one makes everything so simple, makes everything so much easier, shows us everything that we need to see to let go of our obstacle, which is mainly this temporary illusion and what we have received by playing in the temporary illusion instead of, our ultimate goal, hearing from the bona fide, finding them first, hearing from the bona fide spiritual master, and then him giving you Krishna, Hare Krishna. And this path, this simple path that we are hearing about every day, we keep walking it all together. And we've got guidance. The Lord is here. We've got help. And we've just got this family unit, like a, real true family should be. And most families aren't, material families aren't, but the true spiritual family headed by the silent partner, Lord Caitanya, representing by the real CEO, the real Bhagavat, the real head of this spiritual family, and holding that space. I've wanted that, together, that I've been pining for family, and I've been pining for my wrong family. The real true family under the shelter of the Lord through Maharaj is a family to want to be with, for me to go through purification, for others to go through purification. So we're stronger. We're just so strong, and we can't fall off. We cannot fall off. You look in ISKCON, so many gurus fall off their seats, and they're meant to, because they're fed up of what they're doing. They're not getting the satisfaction that we get here. The energy of real life, that satisfaction that helps us grow here, like we are getting it here. the depth that we are receiving that here, the how fast individually we are receiving our individual growth, our individual walk, life experience with the Lord is getting faster to how much we want ourselves. Our will, we're receiving deeper knowledge, more scope, huge scope of knowledge, spiritual knowledge for the Lord. We can begin to really decide how we want to use our will. We have our will. If we really know who we truly are, not just by hearing, but living who we truly are, we will want to use our will to serve the Lord in our character, in our unique, authentic personality that we individually have, that is part and parcel of the Lord, that is built on identifying with our one identification, the Lord himself, instead of here in the temporary world, so many things that we can identify with, and we can make our own identities up, and we can just live in that illusion. And if we don't have the spiritual knowledge from the spiritual master, who is an ecstatic spiritual master, we will stay in this cycle of this illusion, this birth and death. And I've been wondering, Prabhupada says temporary but real, temporary but real. Yeah, it's temporary and it's real. It's real. So we find the bona fide spiritual master. We begin to leave this illusion and realize, our ultimate goal is to spend our life here with the Lord. It's like a starting point. The earth is like a starting point for us to begin, however much that depends on us, our relationship for eternity with the Lord. And we start it here. It takes away the fear of death, because we never die. Living here in this body, in spirit, we never die. It takes away that fear. Like a mother, a child has, done something and it's judged them, and the mother is holding them and, stroking their head and kissing them and making them feel comfortable because of whatever they've done. They haven't liked what they've done. It scared them. They're little children. It still happens to us. We have now the hand of Radharani, for eternity now, our friendship with both Radharani through Srila Gaura Haridas and our family together, our ultimate family together, to be able to walk with Krishna, with the Lord together in our ultimate goal. It's real because that's reality. That's our reality, to walk that path and to keep walking that path. So once we leave the body, finally, we know where we're going. We're automatically, thinking, because that's what we do. We have this perfect relationship, beautiful relationship. I love that word, ultimate relationship, absolute relationship, building and growing inside. And that is our focus. When we leave the body, we are naturally in that place. We are naturally in relationship with the Lord because we are building that right now. That is who we're becoming. The fear of leaving the body is gone. Freddie said to me one time, he says, "Oh, you weren't scared." He says, "You were only scared at that moment because you thought you were going to die." There's many times in this last 2 years that I've been at the point where, I think I'm going to leave my body now. I've come to that point, and where I thought nothing can be done to the human body, and I'm going to leave. And I was so fortunate to be able to read, to be in that place. And Freddie says, "Well, you're not going to die now, so you're not scared anymore, but when that happens again, you'll be scared." Well, it's happened 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years, maybe more. And whilst he was maybe right, but now being in spirit and truth and living in that, because I'm able to speak about it and share about it, and you guys understand exactly what is happening, I'm not frightened. I don't want to leave, and I don't like pain, but none of us like pain. But if I have to, it's fine. And the greatest things have happened to me in whatever time I've had here, and have here, by meeting the bona fide spiritual master, listening to him, being part of this growing together and part of this family with these devotees, with all our individual disturbances and issues that we have, carrying on growing together under the shelter, because we know that all of those disturbances will be taken away because they're major blocks to our relationship with the Lord. Just take off our focus. The Lord will do it for us. I'm saying that to me, Daphne. The Lord will do it for me. I'm always trying to figure it out, but that's my thing from before. I'm trying to work out ways of keeping alive, actually, because of having such a sickness. So having this disturbance in the body. So yes, Tarun, no. The more we come from the heart and leave the illusion behind, it can't hurt us. And this is now my experience. His Jahan's experience, the experience of Shamagori, Lalita, all what people are saying, that can just like poison to the heart. There's a shield there protecting that. It doesn't even bounce off and go back to the others. It gets taken away from them. It doesn't touch us, excuse me. It doesn't touch us, and it gets taken away from them as well. Win-win. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Shamagori is saying, yes. Did I read that one? Yeah, I did, but I'll read it again. If we feel the Lord's presence deep inside of our hearts, nothing can disturb us anymore. I feel that so strong since I prayed to him saying, please take over. I'm surrendering my life to you now. Absolutely. And so I take Johan's advice before when I could watch him. And I say to the Lord, not every day, but most days, what can I do for you? What do you want me to do for you? Every day. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Tarun is saying, I won't back down, no more, full speed ahead on. Absolutely, Tarun. It's so nice to hear that from you. Because we've been on this path, we've used our intelligence to stay where there is shelter and protection, stay where the Lord is residing, to stay under that shelter, to be able to grow, to be able to grow as far as possible before leaving this form behind. Absolutely. That is our ultimate goal, Tarun. It's our ultimate thing, is to have that relationship with the Lord. So when we leave with the Lord. Not Yamaraj, not the Krishna Dutas or the Yamadutas, in that jurisdiction of good and bad, but in transcendent with the Lord himself. He made that law. He made that. Oh, I just noticed that Karuna's there, actually. I've been so absorbed. Okay. But yes, to stay here, no matter how we're triggered, Tarun, Daphne, Shama, how we're triggered, to stay under. These triggers are our growth. These triggers are our growth as well, all of those. And we have the family circle, the real circle of life, to be able to grow in that shelter, receive the real essence of this path, to receive that, to see the aroma of this path, to be able to grow on those feelings, those smells, on the Lord's senses. So Shama is saying it all happens by the causeless mercy of Gurudev and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Absolutely. Thank you. Tarun is saying with the strength of the strength of this grace place, of course. And the strength is so empowered here, that the Lord is so resided here, so deeply with each and every one of us. And that is what Maharaj's goal. That's what Srila Prabhupada's dream was, to have as many temples as possible. We are the temples. They're building external temples. But anyway, I'm not going to go too much into that. But these are the real temples. I speak to all the Asian when I do go to the temple about we are the temples. And they go, yes, 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 we are the temples. But they have no understanding of how to do that, of how to live in that place, except their narrative of Sikhism, which is to become a practicing Sikh with rules and regulations and have a nice, kind voice. That's it. Yeah, so much grace here, so much mercy. I cannot believe, even now when one has triggers and one has places of going through obstacles, to let them go. We're letting go of something we've had for such a long time. Sometimes it's a bit of a pull. Oh, I can't let that friend go, even though it's not a very nice friend. That obstacle, I want to let it go, because it's what we've known. So if we've known trauma, abuse, and all of that for forever, when it's triggered, we go back to that place. We need to realize ourselves that we have abuse. We have just a binding and attachment to that emotion that happened in this illusionary world. And staying here, we will transcend that block. We will transcend that obstacle. Some of them run deep. They're deep weeds within us. They're really deep weeds within us, and they just need to be pulled out slowly as much as we can. I'm like, I just pull it out. Just pull it out. Just get rid of it. Doesn't work like that. Completely freaked out if we just go whoosh. Maharaj said it's just pulling the skin off somebody when you put them through, so much purification, etc. So we learn gradually, and that is a really great gift. To that gradual process quickens up. So it's great that you say that, Tarun. Daphne, when I told my counselor many years ago that ultimately I give my life to God, he said he didn't know what I was doing here then. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One, he doesn't really know God very well, and two, he just thinks that he can. Yeah, and you found the real counseling. You found the real ultimate counselor that is actually dealing with the life for all of us, which is to let go of the illusion, and because we've realized our ultimate goal in this real but temporary illusion. We're realizing our ultimate goal, which is relationship with the Lord within the family, headed by the bona fide spiritual master. And for us, it's Srila Gora Haridas. And we can let go of the illusion. Finally. I don't know what things we have and what we're holding. Yeah. Daphne saying, oh, yes. So, yes, with my counselor, she started shouting. She started thinking I was attacking her, and that was the point, to actually leave. There's no more now. There's no more in that. But this is the greatest counseling ever, because this is the counseling that will bring up stuff and remove them permanently, because of our eternal relationship with the Lord. And because they run in the background, you know, they if we're triggered, triggers are great because it's how we react. Are we going to react on that trigger? And naturally we may. Or are we going to have a distance from that trigger and see how that trigger makes us react, and see that trigger for what it is? That trigger has control over us. You know, we keep it hidden. We keep these triggers hidden, you know, and we stay in places where we're not triggered. They say, don't they? Oh, let's live. I think it was Friday they put it on yesterday. Oh, let's live a perfect life. Let's stay away from all negativity. Well, then, yeah, you might live a nice life, but a lot of things are going to be hidden there beneath you. And if you're triggered by anything, because you can get triggered by anything and anyone, especially, there's more danger of this happening, and not even realizing what's happening without being under the shelter, being able to rest upon the foundation of truth. Without that, it's very dangerous out there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Shamaguri is saying, I know I didn't finish what I was saying, but it's gone. It will come back. And what do you mean here? What do you mean here, Daphne? I think you was. Did I answer that for you, Shamagori? What Daphne was saying about the counselor, and because counselors think that God's going to do everything for you. God will just do, what are you doing here? Why do you need to listen to me? Because you believe in God and He will do everything for you. Yes, He will, but it's a gradual process to build, to actually come somewhere. Like we have Fan Maharaj, who has the Lord residing in him, who is a resident of Vrindavan, who is sharing that Vrindavan with us every single day. Real reality, having a counselor like that, they don't have a relationship with the Lord. And you're with them, and they don't have the ultimate realization, the depth of what is happening to. It's only God who knows we're hiding, what we're holding, and what we need to let go of to have a deeper relationship with Him. It's really ridiculous. That's a really ridiculous thing to say, because the counselor should at least, that is your thing. That is what you love God. And just because you love God, you don't need counseling. We need so much counseling. They're stepping stones. You know what? I don't know, Shama, if you're talking about this, but counseling here is a reflection of our being in counsel, being on the counsel, being counseled, and then being on the counsel as well. So one can counsel others as well, because the Lord resides in our heart. Not because we're just counseling, not because we are just sharing, we are counseling somebody through our life, temporary, illusionary experiences, and we're counseling on that platform. We cannot give everything to others. Here, the Lord is residing here, the greatest counseling. So we too can be on the counsel. With counselors, we're just constantly giving them money and money and money and money, and for what? And you might live a temporary life because your emotional blocks have been moved out the way temporarily. They're still there. And because the roots go deep, and only the Lord knows that, how deep they go. Material counselors go through their own experiences of life. And if they get triggered by your words, they have to go and see a counselor as well. And here, it's all free. Here, we're releasing all things permanently. Here, we're growing and growing out of this illusionary potency. Here, we're knowing who we are, what we are constantly. We are sharing who we are, what we are doing here, our relationship with the bona fide spiritual master, what he gives to us, how we become reborn in spirit and truth, and being able to walk on that path every day guided, every day having a link, every day having a place to actually. Sometimes we go into a place of the illusion, and it's okay. Soon as we come back into this association, it is literally gone. This has been not at the beginning, but now it's literally gone all the time. And to living that. We're all life attachments are leaving our unique unique personality, our unique authentic consciousness that we are, spirit that actually doesn't hold anything, hasn't got room to really hold anything in living in spirit, is happening here for us all the time. So let me know, please, there, Shama, if that was what you meant. Nice points, River. Amazing. Exactly. It is real but temporary, Karuna. Yeah, real, because it starts off our real relationship with the Lord. And Tarun is saying that feelings of transcendence is the best you see in a moment. Oh, death and fear is nothing in this place of beauty and grace. Absolutely, it's drowned out by the transcendence, the ocean of transcendence, in this beautiful place. Absolutely. Shama say, wow, nicely said, Tarun. Krishna, that's absolutely beautiful. And it just shows, the understanding here is so much deeper now. Govinda is saying, hey, Govinda, beautiful class. More and more tissues and less tissues happening. I thought you was going to sleep. Get some rest. Shama is saying, since Guru Dev said to me after I had a talk with him, I should simply start expressing myself, not holding back. That knot around my heart simply vanished. And that happens. Once we make that decision, and we don't even have to show it, it happens. Once we meet, it changes so much within us. Our desires, the Lord is so happy to give all of our desires that bring us closer together, and we can do our service, bringing the Lord through for others, so they too can have what we have received. Too really saying too deep for most. Excuse me. The body is a temple of the Most High Lord of the Lords. I'm glad you said that. The Most High Lord of the Lords. Let go. Turin is saying, let go the illusion and wake up to reality. To reality, the beautiful. People can't do it on their own. People cannot do this by themselves. We do this together under the shelter of Lord Caitanya through Maharaj. And we have this place, we have this safe circle, and we're doing this together, not by ourselves. We're baffled by ourselves, we're illusioned by ourselves. We can't go further by ourselves, with the ultimate, with this spiritual knowledge, being showered by that and receiving that satisfaction, that's our growth, that we can receive this empowerment. We're doing it together. Daphne saying, actually, when the counselor said that, it pushed me out of the illusion of victimhood. Wow. He was right. I needed to focus on my relationship with God rather than sit on his couch. Absolutely. He didn't know what he was doing, but he actually helped me by sending me away. Brilliant. 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 Yeah, brilliant. It can work. It can really, really work. All of our stepping stones, especially while we have come here now as our greatest stepping stone that we have stepped upon with together. We can use whatever we have gone through in life. We can use our life experiences as a reflection to our spiritual life. And it's a great thing about not really doing much and contemplating, reflecting on those things, contemplating and reflecting on why I'm not being able to do my work properly, as being a sharer of this path, a sharer of absolute truth. All of those things, they're just like little tests, little tiny tests. All of these stepping stones are like little tiny tests for us, and the Lord watches us within our tests and see what we do. No matter what happens, we go to the feet of the Lord. We go to where we can grow. We go to the place, the safe house where we can grow in our relationship with the Lord. And it just happens here every day. And I've been on for an hour. It's been so nice. This has been so beautiful to be able to speak and share with the devotees. So I'm going to come off now. I may read later, but I'll probably read for Maharaj in class. Here, you know, I'm on the council. You know, I've been counseled and I'm still being counseled, and I'm on the council now. Same for you guys. We are being counseled. We are on the council now. And this is how we can have authority everywhere. When people go through the purification, to be able to be on the council as well, because they're receiving that knowledge, their blocks are removed. You know, we can have those the counsels of the Lord, you know, devotees upon that council to give the benefit, not just, you know, devotees who are actually residents of, like Maharaj, residents of Vrindavan. They are the true devotees who need to be on the council, on the real true council of God, so they too can receive their greatest benefits here in the Sangha as well. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Shama Gori. Thank you, Tarun. Questions are great. Thank you, Govinda. Karuna, I didn't see much of you. Thank you to you as well. Please, I'm doing my classes on Restream, as you can hear. See, Maharaj will be on Restream after here, I think maybe another couple of hours. I'm not sure. But please join him on Restream. It's going out to all other many other media channels, and it is join a few other media channels and just build a little. Kuna says this to me, you know, and I'm doing it slowly. Build what they call a friends list, you know, so when you do a class on Restream, it goes out to them as well. It's a lot of networking. A lot of networking. And when Karuna was telling me about it, it's like going down this black hole of networking. Because it can take you from one to the other. But Karuna's really great at doing that kind of thing. I like to do it more intimately and this way. So thank you very much. All glories to Srila Gaura Haridas, who has made all of this possible, and the devotees in the Sangha who make all of this possible, and to all the devotees, you know, the Vaidis who make Maharaj's our preaching so much deeper and richer, much more deeply understanding what is happening with them. So, you know, it's thank you to everyone actually everyone who's playing their parts here to bring this preaching through, to drown out this world, you know, of niches, to drown out this neophyte thinking, and for us to rise out of that and to be those councils, you know, like they have them in films, don't they, like a council, but this is the real true councils where the devotees have the Lord residing deeply rooted in their heart and showing that through to others as well. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna to everyone. Have I missed anyone? Let's go to the end. Okay, gonna go download Restream. Yeah, so if you need any help, Govinda, you can ask me or Karuna. Karuna knows more than me. I'm learning. It's really good, actually. It's really good. With me, I made a huge step forward as I stopped taking my antidepressants. A big loud something, a big loud, is that call happened? A big loud call happened. I think that's saying brilliant, because you did stop taking them before, you know, and then you had to return to them, and then now you've just let them go completely. This is the empowerment we get. We get here every day. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Gaura Haridas. Jai Srila Gaura Haridas. Bhaktivedanta. Jai Sri Chaitanya. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much.